Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a full moon in Capricorn reading. The full moon in Capricorn is happening June 21st, 2024, happening at 9:07 p.m. That's when it peaks. And yeah, we're gonna hop in and see what the full moon's bringing up, what we're releasing with this full moon, and some focuses and themes of this full moon in Capricorn with my oracle deck. So first things first, if you're new to moons and moon energy, full moons are the cycle completion time. The new moon starts the cycle and the full moon completes the cycle. So this is when things will generally come up, things will come to light. The energy has built, it's a full moon, it's fully illuminated, so things come to your awareness. Sometimes this is a time of release. That's why I usually do like what are we releasing, because things come up for us to address. It's a time of self-care. It's a time of seeing how your intentions from the new moon have built over the past few weeks, and if you need to make any adjustments and whatnot. So in Capricorn is a Saturn ruled cardinal sign. Cardinal meaning that just kind of gets things going. But it is Saturn ruled. Some keywords are practical, disciplined, determined, persistent, rational, methodical, resourceful. They can be patient, ambitious, humorous, kind of reserved, maybe pessimistic, maybe a little rigid. Those are just some keywords for Capricorn. There's a lot more to Capricorns than that. So, and just so you know, there are always timestamps below if you want to jump straight into the reading. I like to go over a few things before I get into it. So one of the things I want to go over is the previous new moon and full moon of this Capricorn full moon. I like to do this with every moon so that you can look back in your journals or your camera roll to see if there have been any reoccurring situations, reoccurring themes, things that have been coming up consistently with this moon energy. So for the Capricorn full moon, the last new moon in Capricorn was January 11th, 2024. So it was the start of the year. That was the first new moon that we had of this year. And then the previous full moon in Capricorn was last July 3rd, 2023. So look at those dates and see if there's anything that, you're feeling now that you were feeling then, any things that you were thinking about, plans you were making, anything like that. And what is also interesting about this full moon is that we have two Capricorn full moons back to back. So we have this Capricorn full moon happening June 21st, and then we have another Capricorn full moon happening July 21st. So this next month is going to be all Capricorn full moon. The next new moon is going to be in Cancer though. So, we're going to be on the Cancer Capricorn axis for the next month. And we just started Cancer season. It will start June 20th. So tomorrow, as I'm recording this. And Venus, Mercury are both now in Cancer. Mars just moved into Taurus. And I just like to mention those in case any of you are into the astrology aspect of things. So yeah, like I said, we're going to get into what the full moon's bringing up and all that stuff. Those are just some things to be aware of and something to help you relate this full moon to your life in a more practical sense. So before we get right into it, just to introduce myself, I'm Marie. I am an intuitive tarot reader. I am an artist of multiple forms. I make stickers, these notebooks, bracelets, spell oils, all kinds of fun stuff. And you can find all of my offerings and readings in the description on my website. And yeah, I'm a dreaming witch, and we're gonna get into the reading now. So we are starting with what is this full moon in Capricorn bringing up for the collective. Oh, I shuffled already, but before I shuffled, the Fool was at the bottom of the deck, which I thought is an interesting energy for this because, I don't know, thinking about how the first new moon of the year was in Capricorn really makes me think that this full moon has a lot to do with our New Year's resolutions that we may have set. So the things that we were thinking about doing this year, the plans we were making for this year that were set in the beginning of the year. And this is also a Saturn ruled year. I don't talk about the numerology too much because I'm still studying it myself, but this is a collective 8 year. So that means you added up, 2024 and reduced it. It's an 8 year, a Saturn ruled year. Capricorn is Saturn ruled. It was our first new moon of the year. So it's a year of really trying to get your shit together, I think. Really trying to put your plans into physical motion, not just dreaming about them, thinking about them. Saturn is in Pisces though. That is also just something to consider because Pisces is that dreamy energy. It is that, you know, kind of lost in the daydreams, the clouds kind of thing. I saw 111 on the clock there, just confirming the new beginnings, new starts, new adventures, but having maybe a hard time getting them grounded. So let's just see what the cards got to say about what is the Capricorn full moon bringing up for the collective. What is this Capricorn full moon bringing up for the collective? What is the Capricorn full moon bringing up for the collective? All right, we have the Knight of Cups reversed. Kind of coming back to that Pisces energy, I think. And we have the Knight of Swords upright at the bottom. Yeah, so I feel like this is a lot of that, you know, rushing forward without kind of being balanced energy. Like the Knight of Swords, you know, he's like the quickest moving knight in the deck. He is the knight that, well, I think he's the quickest moving. It's him or the Knight of Wands. But either way, he's moving. He's going. And he may not have a solid plan. The Knight of Swords sometimes just does things impulsively. But with this Knight of Cups reversed here, I think it's kind of like not considering maybe the consequences of what we are rushing into. Like how it's really going to play out for us, emotionally speaking. Let's get a little more for what this full moon in Capricorn is bringing up. What is this full moon in Capricorn bringing up for the collective? And we've got the Hierophant reversed. Yeah, all right. So definitely like struggling to listen to your intuition, I think, is something here. Struggling to listen to your trusted guidance, whether it's from yourself, spirit teams, or like people that you trust and listen to. What do we got here? We've got the Hanged Man upright at the bottom. So yeah, this is like needing a perspective shift, needing some time to really consider what is going on. This is the Taurus card. And like I said, Mars just moved into Taurus. I don't think it's aspecting the moon at all. If it is, because it's a fixed sign, I don't think it is. But anyway, it's a time to slow down. It's a time to reflect. It's a time to, I'm sorry, my snake is like moving around in the background. A time to get that new perspective shift. Take a break, take a moment to really think things through and think about the long-term consequences of what is going to happen. Like, how is this going to offer, like, what kind of offer is this going to bring you if you are doing something new? And what do we have here? The Five of Pentacles reversed. So it's a weird energy. It's like wanting to get started, but being pessimistic, I think, is an energy coming through, but also like really struggling between being realistic and being optimistic. 4-4 on the clock there. Really like struggling to get that foundation set of trusting that this is going to work out, but all of that like realistic pessimism is like, I don't know. So let's see, anything else to say about what's coming up for this Capricorn full moon? Because like I said, we have the full at the bottom of the deck in the beginning, and that really makes me think that this is something like it's time to make some moves forward, because Saturn's going to be going retrograde in a few weeks, I think, between now and the next full moon, which just means that we're going to be needing to revisit and reflect on all of those Saturn energies. But that also means that the next Capricorn full moon is going to be ruled by a Saturn in retrograde. So it's like, don't be worried about not having all the details of what you're trying to do. Don't be worried that you don't have the full picture. It's time to just make some moves. It's time to stop like going in circles in your head and getting yourself worked up and getting yourself even more upset without making any moves. So Let's get one more card for the Capricorn full moon, what it's bringing up. We got the Six of Pentacles reversed. I think we had this for the new moon reading. So really balancing the give and take, really balancing where we are putting our energy. And like, yeah, we have that Two of Swords reversed at the bottom here, that indecision. Where are we putting our energy? One of my favorite sayings when I'm feeling indecisive or like procrastinating is, you know, time is going to pass whether you do something or not. You know, like time will pass either way. So making a decision can be active, but you can also make a decision by not making a decision. If you keep sitting in this indecisive Two of Swords kind of energy, you're still making a decision. You're just making the decision not to make a decision. If that makes sense. You're making the decision that you're not going to make any moves, which is kind of keeping you stagnant, which is kind of keeping you stuck, which is keeping all your focus on things that you may not like, things that you are not enjoying. When you're thinking like, I could be doing this, that, I could be talking to someone new, I could be exploring something new, I could be putting my energy elsewhere. So yeah, revisiting where you're putting your energy. Are you getting what you're giving? Or are you giving what you're getting is another thing for some people. Balancing your time, your energy, your money. And this is a Moon and Taurus card. And I know I talked about it in the last reading where it's like needing to find ways to make the journey pleasurable was something that came up, I think, with the new moon and Gemini reading, is needing to find ways to find pleasure in the practical, in the mundane, you know, because when we reach our goal, that's great. But if we're not going to be fulfilled along the way, then that goal's not going to fulfill us for long either. So finding ways to find pleasure and fulfillment in the moment, in the time, in the mundane, in the practical steps, you know, doesn't mean it has to be all good and all bad. That's part of the balance, is that it's going to be, you know, a little give, a little take. So let's move into what we are releasing. Man, my snake is really going at it. He must want fed. I'll be doing that later. So what are we releasing with this full moon in Capricorn energy? And it's really interesting to think that we're blending a new moon in Gemini with a full moon in Capricorn. Like, those energies seem very contrasting in my opinion, because I feel like Gemini is known for being like playful, it's known for being witty, and like just kind of the opposite of what you think of when you think of Capricorn. Not that Capricorns can't be playful and witty and whatnot, but I think that Gemini sign is more known for that kind of energy, and Capricorns are more known for that rigid, reserved kind of energy. And I don't mean that in a rude way. I just mean that like they save it for very exclusive people, I think. And we even have that full reverse down here, and the Two of Pentacles reversed here. So like that new beginning is really just waiting on you to like balance your shit out. Balance your focus, balance, you know, where you're putting your energy. And again, come back to the beginning of the year. The new moon in Capricorn in January. What were you thinking of doing this year? What were your plans? What were your resolutions? How have they been working out? I know for me, I think a few of them are working out okay, but some of them really need some more discipline, and some of them really need more attention. And I keep like kind of going in a circle of like, it's so hard though. And I'm like, it's going to be hard whether you do it or not. So yeah, I don't know if anyone else needed to hear that, but I did. So what are we releasing with this Capricorn full moon energy? The King of Wands. Interesting. Interesting. What do we have down here? Queen of Swords. Ooh. And this is for releasing. So I kind of feel like this is like releasing self-doubt, and also, but releasing being overly cocky. I don't know. Being overly confident, especially if you're like really reaffirming your self-doubts. You're like, I know this won't work out because I know this, and that. And, you know, this is a very logical, the Queen of Swords, she's very logical. She's very straight to the point, very kind of, the facts over feelings. And the King of Wands is very passionate. So kind of interesting those come out together. What do we have here? Seven of Pentacles and the Magician reversed. Yeah, I think like getting a little overly cocky is something to release. Getting to like that perfectionist kind of mindset of like, if I'm not the best at it, if it doesn't work out the way I want it to right away, then I should just give up. Like, the goals that you're going after are going to take work. Yeah, that Seven of Pentacles energy. They're going to take consistent work. They're going to take more than, you know, just making a practical plan and getting started and thinking that, you know, you got to be the best at it right away. It's going to take more than that. It's going to take more commitment. It's going to take some hard work. It's going to take, you know, addressing your ego. And ego isn't a bad thing. We all have ego. Ego helps us live. It helps us have an identity. But unhealthy ego is when we're wrapped up in the stories that we tell ourselves, especially if they're negative stories like, I'll never be good enough, blah, blah, blah. So that Fool keeps coming back. Like, really, I want y'all to, like, pursue your goals. I want you guys to, like, start whatever this is that you've been wanting to start. And with all these Pentacles that keep popping out too, and even the Cups, this is something that I think will bring you more financial and physical security. Like, whether that's a new job that is going to pay better and just feel better because of the Cups energy, that will feel better, feel more welcoming, but also pay better, pay more consistently, and also just spending your time and your energy. You know, if you're burning yourself out, Pentacles is about our physical energy as well. So, you know, it's hard to have, yeah, we got the King of Pentacles right here. It's hard to have energy for completing your goals if you're wasting it on other things. If you're wasting it on people, places, things, situations, overthinking. It's like, what is left to put into the things that you actually care about? If you're over here giving all your energy, giving your energy to overthinking, giving your energy to people that you don't really like, giving your energy to a job that you don't really enjoy, that doesn't pay you enough. And again, this isn't like a quit your job, start new kind of like thing. I know that, you know, realistically that can't work out for everybody. If it can, that's great, but in this economy, but are you making any practical steps to address that? Are you finding any ways to make that job or make the situation easier? Whether that's, you know, delegating some tasks or finding someone to just like that pleasure seeking, like finding pleasure during this mundane, you know, finding ways to refill your cup. All right, what else are we releasing? I feel like this Capricorn full moon is really just like, it's like you said you wanted this. So what are you doing? All right, what are we releasing? The Three of Swords. Man, I keep thinking that we're done with this Three of Swords, but it just keeps coming back. What hurt are we holding on to? What heartbreak? What, we got the Five of Pentacles reversed down here. What situation did we feel excluded from that is holding us hostage, that is holding us back from like pursuing our goals, from pursuing what we want to do? What is it? Because it is time. It is time to get through that. It is time to feel those things. It is time to process it. Well, yeah, we have the Five of Pentacles there. And the Fool. The Fool keeps coming. You know what? I don't even know if I should put it out or not. I am. I'm going to put it out. So the Fool. You can make steps forward with a heart. You know, you can take steps forward while still processing. Like, multiple things can be true at once. You can still be grieving, hurting, mourning a loss of a friend, a job, a person, you know, whatever it is for you, a connection, while still making steps to go forward. Because, like, again, time is going to keep passing whether you make moves or not. You know, time it's neutral to us. It just keeps going. It doesn't really care. So how are you spending your time? And I just saw a bunny outside, so that's, I don't know, that really gives that birthing energy to me, like that birthing something new. I don't know, I kind of like this reading. It's not as gloomy as the rest of them have been, although it definitely is kind of pulling up some areas to work on. But I don't know, some of the readings recently were a little rough. All right, one more for what we're releasing. One more for what we are releasing. The Eight of Cups reversed. Yes. All right. Releasing, not releasing. It's like the Eight of Cups is when we are walking away from things, even though they seemed fulfilling at the time, they are no longer fulfilling. So in reverse, it's like we are kind of struggling to let go of those things. The Five of Wands reversed here. It's like an internal battle, an internal conflict. Part of you really feeling like, but I love these people. I love these things. I love this situation, or I enjoyed it at some point. Maybe it'll get better. I don't think it's going to get better. At least not the way that you think it is. This Three of Swords keeps popping up for a reason. There's something here that has shifted. And again, it's not like you have to leave people behind, but you need to figure out their place and your boundaries. And we got Strength here. Need to tend to yourself first, you know. Need to tend to your own feelings, your own situation, and just really, you know, are you putting yourself first, or have you been putting everyone else first for the sake of keeping the peace, for the sake of not rocking the boat, for the sake of trying to get back to some level of like normal? It's not working out. So it is time to walk away from those cups. It's time to do something different. So yeah, this is an interesting full moon. We're gonna get into the focuses and the themes with the Oracle deck, because I think we've got as much as we can out of the tarot there. It's very much time to make some moves, and especially like doing it while you're scared is a big thing. You know, do it scared. You know, there's not going to be a right time. There's not going to be a time where you're probably going to be fully confident. I think that's also what this King of Cups or King of Wands was like saying. It's just like you need to release the desire to be fully confident before you make a move. Like you need to do it while you're scared, because that's when you're really being brave, is when you're battling your fears and still making moves, still making decisions, still making steps forward, even though it's scaring you. So what are the focuses of this full moon in Capricorn for the collective? What are the focuses of the full moon in Capricorn for the collective? Compassion. Having compassion for yourself, knowing that, you know, this isn't an easy journey. It definitely is stirring things up. You're not crazy. And it's okay if you make some steps forward and then take some steps back and then make some steps forward, because you're still making steps. You need to have compassion that, you know, you're not going to become perfect, well, ever, but like especially not overnight. Definitely not going to just shift straight into a whole new being overnight. It's going to take time. It's going to take compassion. It's going to take some grace for yourself. All right. What else are we focusing on with this Capricorn full moon? Be still. I know that sounds contradictory to the moving thing, but it also doesn't, because remember that Hanged Man we had earlier is like taking that moment to have that perspective shift, taking that moment to, you know, still your mind, still the overthinking bubble that you're in. And this is a 5. This card is number 5, and 5 is a number of change. So even though there is stillness on the surface, it doesn't mean that there aren't things being done, is something that is important to remember. what else? One more for this Capricorn full moon. One more focus for this Capricorn full moon. Sacred journey. I think we've been having this card come out a lot. You know, this is a lot of your journey is your journey. Your journey is nobody else's. Your journey has your own unique challenges and things, and that these challenges, these obstacles, these delays, these things that come up are just as important to the journey as, you know, the smooth times. Gratitude at the bottom of the deck. Just as important. They are teaching you valuable lessons. They are stirring things up for you to address so that you can release them, and go into the future with less of these, you know, swords in your heart kind of feeling. And you know what? Let me get out the book, because I like how they describe these. So compassion. Love and compassion towards others starts with love and compassion towards yourself. Love and compassion is the sacred essence of all that is. It embraces us without condition or judgment. It assists us to grow and evolve to higher states of conscious awareness. This card has come to you as a reminder that true compassion starts with you. Learn from your experiences, even the most challenging, and forgive yourself for experiences that may have caused suffering. Carrying the weight of internal judgment only brings pain and suffering. When you have compassion and love toward yourself, forgiveness expands towards the others around you as well. Forgiving another can be the hardest test of all, especially when they hurt. When the hurt that they have inflicted has cut deep and the buried wounds and emotions resurface. It is natural to want to react with spite, bitterness, and rage. It's even more natural to want to put up walls of protection from further pain. But when the walls surround one's heart, they halt your growth and ability to manifest the reality of choice. So you move from a hurt place. So if you found yourself in this predicament, know that it is your time to react differently. Choose forgiveness, compassion, and love. Forgiveness for yourself. I want to say that because I don't know how they mean it, but forgiveness is for you. It's not for the other people. You do not have to forgive people that hurt you. You can decide to release that angst, you know, so it doesn't hurt as much. Don't close your heart and build walls. This does not serve you. It takes you further away from your truth. This does not mean that you should stay in a situation where you're being mistreated or where boundaries have been crossed. You can move away from a situation that does not serve your highest good with love and compassion still in your heart. Okay, so they did say that. So yeah, this is associated with the heart chakra, and the affirmation is, I am filled with thoughts of gratitude, compassion, forgiveness, and love. So very, very heart-centered. And we did just have all kinds of things move into Cancer, and that gives me kind of like a Cancer vibe, to be honest. So 5, be still. To the mind that is still, the whole universe surrenders. Be still, breathe, find that well of tranquility and serenity within you. There are times when life feels chaotic. Circumstances and relationships test and challenge you with conflicting emotions and inner storms. Sometimes your emotions are felt deeply, and you may have moments of outbursts that express the pain and inner rage. Feel the emotions and try to understand what has come forth from you. See the origins from which this reaction was born. There will always be triggers, and storms will pass. How you react makes all the difference to the severity and longevity of the storm. Who you are is best seen when you are challenged, pressured, and put to the test. Will you react with rage, spite, and bitterness, or with peace, love, and compassion? If you react with anger and spite, don't be disheartened. Simply see that this is where you are at this time, and be gentle with yourself, and go within to explore the deepest recesses of your hidden self. Find the root of why your reactions are the way they are. Send this part of you love and compassion, and feel the healing of love spreading through your entire being. Yeah, in the stillness there is clarity and peace. So this is associated with the sacral and the solar plexus. So yeah, these two really go together about, you know, finding that compassion for yourself, pausing before reacting, really taking a moment to address your feelings, address what is coming up for you, especially if you've been caught in that pessimistic kind of swirl of thoughts that, you know, holding you back and whatnot. It's time to figure out, like, where is this coming from? Like, why am I thinking this way? Why am I treating myself this way? And sacred journey, pretty sure it's going to be pretty similar. There is wisdom in knowing that even the darkness serves its purpose for the growth of the soul. Darkness need not be feared, but simply understood. Darkness is a misunderstood energy which causes so much emotional distress, disharmony, and disharmony around the world, as it is seen as something that is separate to God. Most often it is seen as something that needs to be avoided and battled. Darkness too serves its purpose. Through darkness we come to see the light that is in us. We expand our conscious understanding through first walking in the shadows of our soul. The more you ignore, push away, and avoid the darkness, the more it is attracted to your space. It is only through love and understanding of the true nature of the darkness and embracing its role and having gratitude for the lessons that it teaches us that we are able to transcend the karmic wheel. Only then do we break free from its cyclic challenges and that trigger the soul through its many faces and forms. Darkness is here to help us find a way back to our heart when we are all one, or we are all one, good, evil, dark, light, and many other labels. Do not fear the shadows within or outside you. Simply observe the dance of life that is occurring around you. See the lessons that unfold from the dark periods of your life. Understand their meaning and purpose. The more you walk this journey with understanding and clarity, the more at peace you are with this world. So this is associated with the solar plexus. So, we definitely got 3 cards that are kind of like about having compassion for ourselves during hard times, having, knowing that these things are challenging us for a reason, that we are being pushed, called to start this new journey, to start this, this fool's journey, start the cycle over. And that's not easy, I'm not going to say it is. It's definitely not. It's hard to have compassion, especially, with ourselves when we haven't had it throughout our life. If we're not raised to have that for ourselves, we likely have the negative, critical thoughts and words in our head that have been repeated to us throughout our life. People telling us we're not good enough. People telling us we need to try harder. People telling us we need to do better. So on, so forth. We need to start addressing that. We need to start addressing that and leaving that behind and really digging deep into our subconscious and the things that are influencing the decisions and reactions that we have. So yeah, I think we're gonna leave it there. Got a little rough in the end, but I still think this is good. I mean, it definitely is an energy that is hard to address, hard feelings, hard hurts, hard wounds to address. But ultimately, if you want to achieve what you want to achieve, nobody said it was going to be easy. Especially when we're going from one kind of mindset to a new mindset, we need to dig through the muck before we get there. And I just realized that this 8 of Cups is actually the Saturn and Pisces card. So literally, the Saturn and Pisces retrograde that is coming up in like 2 weeks is probably really going to stir this up. This is probably what, I think this card is signaling, is that this energy is really going to be stirred up. These things that we want to commit to, these goals that we set at the beginning of the year and that we may have been setting for a while, if you really want them, we need to make a commitment to addressing the non-physical so that we can make physical moves. All right, that is that. I'm going to wrap it there. I hope that you have an easy full moon. If you want a personal full moon reading, they're available on my website. If you would like a handcrafted notebook, they are also on my website. If you want spell oils, other things, they are on my website. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in a week maybe for the last quarter moon. Yeah, we'll see you then.